Yo, Tony B back with a mega review of Dead Samurai. Publisher Wake Entertainment, never heard of them and totally excited to get a book from them. I love the indies, and it seems like, I just don't buy indie books just to buy. It just seems like we get bangers out of the indies, and I totally love it. The search for, new stuff, fresh stuff starts with indies for me. And this one, it's a banger. John Dolmayan is the writer, and I didn't know it, but he's the drummer for System of a Down. So shout out to the Down. Ryan Benjamin, he does the art for us, and I have to comment on this cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. It is extraordinarily beautiful. It really captures the contrast that you're going to see in this book of there is, with samurais in feudal Japan, it was just very code-oriented, structured, organized, and then you clash it with The Walking Dead, zombies, just brutality and just grittiness, just the very opposite. So the contrast was very compelling for me. It really kept me engaged. And at first I really didn't know why. And then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, there's a huge contrast here. So 16th century feudal Japan. I mean, right from the get-go, here you go. Totally dig. Ryan Benjamin really captured the mood and the tone for what this delivers. There's not much narrative, but you don't need that. You can do a lot with the artwork, and that's really what happens here. And also, I think it was done on purpose with the minimal speaking is like, it seems like there's a very stoic nature to that part of Japan and time. And silence, that's a huge thing with being stoic and disciplined. And that's why I think you're leaning more into the artwork to tell what's going on. So you're right from the get-go, you're introduced to the brutality. And I always love these cinematic panels that boom, boom, boom. Anytime you see panels that are like compressed like that, it's a very cinematic feel. Totally love these colors. So our protagonist, the name is Shinzu. And he is part Portuguese. He's not full-blooded Japanese. And I think that's an important aspect for this character development. He doesn't have to be held to these codes. He's not blood of the code, but he does so anyways. I think that strengthens this character's morale and strength, inner strength. So you're being introduced to the plague, the zombies, and the protagonist, man. It's good order. And you get the Lord, you're getting, he has a family, there's a lot of order, a lot of good, which will quickly turn the other way. So his wife has just had a child. I mean, that's on purpose too. Just the birth of a child. Think about that, like, life. And then you have death contrasting with it. That's good writing. It's the writing is very clever where you're sucked into this family mood and tone, like just a happiness. Bringing life into the world is the ultimate. And you're getting, you get introduced to the code and see how the coloring is just so bright and positive. You're getting a taste of Shinzu and his loyalty. Man, this is so great. So actually they set up, I kind of gleaned over that a little quick, but his child, I believe that's his son, wants to go fishing, and he's telling, he has stuff, he's busy. He has stuff to do, but he's like, go ahead and go to your place, where we fish, and I'll be there. So he's got to wrap up business, and this is important right here. And you have more narration with Shinzu. And he has, I believe this is setting up future narration where Shinzu has, there's something between him and the brother of the Lord. And that'll probably set something up interesting later. This is such a great, we all get it, right? You get bit, you get infected. This right here, really, I don't know, man. It's a little different to me. It seems it's fresh. It just, on one page, you get a great cinematic feel of that whole process. So that's important too. Now we know this thing is quick, kind of like the rage virus. Boom. I mean, just that whole, I love the way that it produces movement up. Sometimes little details like that, I catch them, and it's on purpose. Like, the movement of your eyes is controlled by these artists, and it's just fantastic. So the tension is building, and the writer does such a great job of building this. Now you're getting someone that's being chased by one of these undead, and she has been bitten. So she gets the jump on this guy right here. And they figured out real quick how this spreads and goes down. So it's not like your intelligence is being insulted. It's paced in a very, very good way where all the things we really know about are up to speed. Because the zombie genre, we get it, right? But you have to tell that story of the progression into the madness. So it starts happening fast. The brutality is just, you go from that birth, bringing life into the world quickly, to just chaos in a world of extreme order. They do such a great job with the infection. I like how it's angled, where this is twisted, and just to give it that angle gives it more of that twist. It matches the twisted nature of what's just happening so fast. And look how she has her arms like outstretched, like it's almost religious in a way. It's real compelling. So they figure out, the decapitation, you get on that. That's what I mean, like, we're not insulted by it. It's like, it doesn't feel like it's kind of hard to explain, because we know how all this works, but they do a great job here of telling that story that's been told over and over. And it's really impactful with the art. I think the art and the writing really, it delivers. Love this. It's not a splash page, but it's somber. Yeah, this is like the emotion of this page. It's up there. This child just, and how we go from detailed, just silhouette, to even this burst of color here. Like, it's very emotional and impactful. So now he's, the Lord is just like, my family's gone, everything is gone, kingdom, the clan is destroyed, like, just ultimate chaos. So he's gonna do seppuku. I hope I'm saying that right. So you have to have a second. And I always thought the second like your person that you pick for that was there if you didn't succeed in this process. But it might be wrong. So, man, it's cool. Like, it's history. I do like how there's minimal, see how the narration stops and this just tells the story. The writing is it's really poetic in a way. Like, when I started reading this, I was very impressed with the writing. So I thought, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that this person was picked in case you failed at that. But, oh, wow, look at that. And look how the sun setting and the ending of the Lord there. Pretty clever. You know, things are always done purposefully. And sometimes you'll read something and look at a book, and sometimes you can't quite put your finger on it, why it's resonating with you, but there's a lot of things that go into it that, I mean, I don't know if it's subconsciously there, but it grabs you, you know, without having to deep dive and dissect. It creates a harmony. So now, since all his stuff is gone, this is why I was saying he doesn't have to be bound by this honor, because he's not blood of the code, which what I mean by that is he's half Portuguese. He's not, you know, in that bloodline, but that makes his honor even more solid and honest, because he's going to do it, man. His Lord is gone, and that's his job, right? In the code of the samurai, it's like, you know, I got to do this. However, see, it's important that he sent the child to go fishing, because the child doesn't know what's going on yet and lives, which means it gives our samurai purpose. This character is interesting too, and you'll see why. And they really set up some narration for the next issue with what happens here. Wow. Just that shot right there. I mean, that's your Halloween shot. It's so creepy how they just kind of shadowed, and then, you know, it's his siblings. That makes it even more emotional. Great panel work. Oh, wow. So the emotion is just there. And his mom, she's turned as well. So she bites the archer, and here's another example of what I'm saying. Like, we're not insulted. Like, they know you get bit. That's it. So see you later, arm. So it's you're getting a really great condensed, you know, rehash of the zombie plague. So they're swimming. So I'm curious now how this character will adjust to survive in this world. I'm making a guess that they live, but I think that's so compelling to, I mean, you're already starting to develop a character there, like in an extreme way. What a great ending here, where you see the bottom of the water with the fish life, and looking up, you know, and you see, like, it's almost religious in a way, that the way the light shines. It's great stuff. So yeah, man, I was really impressed. Enjoy this read. Shinzu, driven by loyalty, not hope. He knows right now the odds are grim, but he has a task now, and it's that child. And the author, Dolmayan, like, he really succeeds in building a world that feels lived in and dangerous, if that makes sense. The world's no longer ruled by lords and code. It's, you know, Ryan Benjamin's interior art, it's very gritty and expressive, and it really captures both the elegance of traditional samurai aesthetics and the grotesque horror of the infected. Great stuff. You know, if you're into the zombie genre, I would highly recommend this. Like I said, it's been rehashed numerous times, but to bring such a fresh offering as this, and the cover alone is totally worth it. Totally get on that. But get it